Hello, hello, workplace innovators. You are out there blazing the trail and solving problems, often inside of spreadsheets. Welcome to number 9 on our top 10 dysfunctions of a spreadsheet. You may find yourself starting to craft solutions. Here's an example that's fairly real world of a small business that maybe is working with dresses for a bridal shop. And they may start to create a little PO spreadsheet, and that's going to connect to their accounting systems. And notice inside here, they've got some repeated information and information that is grouped together, should be logically grouped together. So Google Sheets out of the gate is going to do some nice things, like it'll give you some type ahead for free. But notice that that does not link directly to other columns without you really starting to wrangle and create a form. Also, if you have customers and phone numbers, those are going to want to be fairly coupled together into something like a customer profile. If you've got categories of services, who can evolve and create those categories of services? What is the business process behind that? And how can you do reporting and analytics so that way this is not just a column of data, but it's something that's much more rich and robust and scalable. Google Sheets will allow you to do a couple of pretty cool things here, and I'm sure you can extend it even beyond my knowledge. So you can put in some data governance, so you can only select exactly what's there. Okay, you've got to think about then what happens in the process of a new vendor coming into the mix. How does that work, and how does this get controlled? So this will help me, with misspellings. Great, so we've got some nice controls in place there. Again, it still doesn't quite get me to that sense of relationship. The columns C and D are grouped together. So what to do? Well, in a relational database model, what you might want to see is, rather than kind of having a flat set of data, and I'll bring in the data here for this demo in a flat way, you may want to start to build out a sense of different data tables. So we've got vendors, customers, and then even something as small and simple as that category picker. As I mentioned, we might want to have data governance over the category itself. And so then it's not just the POs, but we've got a fully formed relational database. That kind of model here, where you've got 4 different tables, will be built to scale. And then you'll be able to get into data controls well beyond simply, can they pick it, and what does that look like? I'll show a very quick example. Rather than this simply being kind of a static list, which again could be as simple as a static drop-down list like this, that is kind of hard-coded into the database, we can actually pull from a whole different table over here. And this can have not only that ID, but then also the name pulling through. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of sample data. So if this is vendor 1, and that's Cardoza, and vendor 2 was Samson. Now, when we come back over to our new form that we're creating out, rather than having kind of static lists, which is sort of where Google Sheets was leading us, we can do something a lot more fully formed. And that data, therefore, we've only got 2 columns in our vendor table right now, but it is built to scale. Those 2 columns could become 10 different columns, and each vendor could have certain different business processes and rules that go behind it. Vendors themselves could have different groupings and categories. If this company is going to be successful and they're going to grow, they might start to evolve their different services, and their partners are going to be a key ingredient to them being successful. Thanks so much for following along. Talk soon.